This is Rockin' with Jam Man. Is with Tina from Beautiful Skeletons. So how you doing, girl?
Doing okay yourself?
Good, 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 good. So for those who are watching and unfamiliar with you, can you tell me all about yourself?
Yeah, my name's Tina Firefly. I'm part of a four-piece alt metal group out of Washington State, and we've been around since 2019. All of us pretty seasoned musicians. Our songs and music are pretty dynamic. Pretty much everything from screaming and growling all the way to power vocals. So we like to share that with everyone, and also we've been told our live show is awesome. So if you happen to be in an area, definitely come catch us live.
Tell me how you would explain your sound.
Say, sorry, what was that?
Tell me how you would explain your sound.
Explain the sound. Well, best way to put it in perspective is each one of the guys in the band are from a different generation, different country, um, and raised in different music. So the four of us have like really different taste in music, everything from jazz to power vocals to divas to, screamo metal. And that really comes off in our songs. A lot of our songs are super dynamic. They may start off jazzy and soft. And then, I may do a section where I'm screaming for a minute. So it's really all over the place. Just really depends on which song you pick off the EP to listen to.
And the new single is Letter to a Narcissist, right?
Yes. Yeah. We dropped a music video for that a couple weeks ago.
Now does this track have a personal meaning to you?
Yes. I think all the songs have personal meanings to us, right? My particular writing style for lyrics really is about taking something that happened to me personally, but talking about it in a way that everyone can relate. And Letter to a Narcissist is that way. I all have narcissists in our life, and they're kind of tricky to root out. So it's important to be able to identify them. And the song talks about identifying a narcissist and understanding that those kinds of people do penetrate your inner circle.
Now, is there a new album coming out or is it just singles?
So we've done two EPs. We would love to do an album in 2025. That will depend on funding. It's a lot cheaper to produce a 5-track EP and focus on those. And then maybe when the right time comes along, or if the label decides to get involved, we may do a full-length album.
Do you have some headlining shows to promote the new album? Any chance?
We do. We're going to be at the Orting Festival in South Washington. We've been playing a bunch of female-fronted metal festivals. We have a tour coming in the summer. Yeah, and in November, we'll be at the Headbangers Con in Linwood, Washington.
So who was the narcissist?
The Narcissist was a ex-boyfriend of one of my best friends. Well, that's one in particular that sort of inspired this song. But the whole point is that it could be to inspire anyone. And the first thing I always get about this when I send it to people, they ask if I'm trying to tell them something. It's like, it's not personal, but if you're thinking like, oh my God, who did you write that about? Then, I mean, some part of you has to relate to it, right?
What was life like for you on the road?
Being on the road is tough. Little things that would just annoy you normally piss you the hell off. So it gets pretty rough. It's not easy to go on tour, especially if you're doing anything longer than 3 weeks. But it's rewarding in so many other ways, and you get to see, the country or wherever it is you're touring.
What is the best venue you've ever played?
That would be the outdoor venue in Black Mountain, North Carolina. We did a tour with Yngwie Malmsteen in 2022. It was the first place that I'd ever played at that had a huge stage, and I think there was a couple thousand people there. And that place was gorgeous. That's definitely got to be my favorite.
What's the worst?
Well, I mean, without naming names, right? I think that any hole in the wall bar, you're like your neighborhood bar, um, is going to be challenging, difficult. There was one in particular in Oregon that we ended up playing at that I will never play there again. Just very shady spot downtown and pretty much no space whatsoever besides it's like a little teeny stage. So yeah, you play those a lot as when you're grinding and you're putting that work in and you're trying to get past the local level, you're gonna play like a million of those. So you start moving up in venues.
Do you have a ritual before you go on stage?
I do. I do. Um, I dump a monster into my cup. I get extra ice because I like it cold. I have a fan that I keep right in front of me. And right before we start, I always unbraid my hair because I'm going to mosh out with it. And it's got to be unbraided or else I get distracted. So yeah, that would be my ritual. I mean, people have some weird rituals though. That's pretty tame compared to some of the ones I've seen.
Ever have a crazy interaction with the fan?
So many, so many. Define crazy. Like, did I fear for my life? There was a
Yes.
few. There was a few of those. A few of those. I'm not allowed to leave, like the tour bus, or if we're out on the road. Like, I'm not allowed to go out of sight. We always try to be in twos. But yeah, no, I've had lots of like crazy fan interactions. I actually I had a stalker a while ago, so I did do some things differently and sort of guard my information a little bit better. But hey, I mean, at least they like the music. I just yeah, no, like none of that. I really would prefer not to have people go that crazy.
What is your favorite memory from playing a show?
Favorite memories. I think probably one of my favorite memories so far is playing in, I think it was Ohio. Played a venue there, nice big venue. You can go and play a crowd before you're open, as an opening band or direct support band. Everyone's there really to see, the big guy. So whoever plays before the big guy is kind of like, if you get there too early, not enough people are there, but people start coming in at the end of your set, so you don't get as much audience time, and that can make it difficult to get the crowd excited, because it's the evening's early, everyone's sober, no one's drunk yet. So I think that's probably the most challenging thing, is just feeding off the energy of the crowd. And if there's no crowd, you kind of have to like make up your own energy. It gets tough. But yeah, that show in Ohio, every single person in there was 100% in to Beautiful Skeletons. So it was a badass show.
What is your worst?
Worst would be on our last tour. We were passing through, I can't remember the name of the state. I lost my voice like 12th show in, and we had 12 in a row. So that was probably my worst one. I think I managed to squeak my way through 2 or 3 songs, and then I just pulled my mic. I'm done.
What do you do on your downtime for fun?
Oh, I don't have a lot of downtime. Got to be honest. I got 3 kids, 3 cats, a dog, a husband, 6 million mother-in-laws. I don't have a whole lot of free time, but I actually really enjoy origami. I love making huge, advanced, complicated origami. I do a lot of crafty type things. I paint, I draw, and then I do graphics for the band. So lots of art stuff.
What is next for you?
What's next? Well, we are getting ready to play our show in LA at the Whiskey A Go Go, which is a pretty famous classic venue in LA. And we're going to be there as direct support for the Iron Maidens, which is a Iron Maiden all-female tribute band. Those chicks are badass. So we're quite excited for that. That'll be next week.
How can my followers follow you?
BeautifulSkeletons.com has all of our socials, including our link tree, getting to our Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everything. We always have it in one central location. You can also go to YouTube and just type in Beautiful Skeletons Band, and you'll see our channel pop up.
Any cool merch?
Merch right now is not online. We're only doing it at shows, but that'll change next month.
Fun question time. You're on death row. It's time for a final meal. What is on the menu?
Oof. Uh, Chicken teriyaki and rice with a salad.
Nothing else.
Nothing else.
So it's death row and time is over. How are you getting executed?
Guillotine. I choose guillotine. I don't think they do that anymore, but beheading is very underrated. It needs to make a comeback, I think.
If you could have any superpower, what would you choose?
Um, Telekinesis.
Okay.
Just because
Let's,
I'd want to mess with people, you know?
yeah, let's say you can choose any song ever written by any band. You can change that song to where you're the one who wrote it as your song. What song would it be and why?
Ooh, that's a question. Thinking. There is something about rock from the 90s that I just don't hear anymore. That's
Like
very,
grunge? Like,
yeah, grunge. Yeah. So there's a Mudvayne song called Fall Into Sleep. And I think that's like my all-time favorite Mudvayne song. It's just so cool. I would totally steal that if I could.
well, thank you for being on my show. Up the next time we talk at the backstage on one of your shows. It's been my pleasure.
All right. Thank you so much for having me. Have a
Yes.
fantastic day.
You too as well. Have a good night.